house after a cousin spa day and slowly lifted her hat. She looked at me with tear-filled eyes and whispered, "Aunt Vanessa said my hair wasn't fair to Chloe, and she made me wear this all day." It was a cheap, pink bucket hat. When I gently pulled it off, my heart completely stopped. Lily's beautiful, waist-length golden hair had been brutally chopped off to the scalp. There was dried blood just above her left ear, and tucked inside her backpack was her severed braid, thrown carelessly into a plastic trash bag. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. A cold, terrifying calm washed over me. I didn't call the police right then. Instead, I just grabbed the trash bag, got into my car, and drove straight to my sister-in-law's house. And when she opened the door, smiling, she had no idea that by midnight, her entire life would collapse. My name is Maya. I'm 28 years old, and until yesterday, I believed that family ultimately protects its own. My husband, David, and I had built a quiet, comfortable life in the suburbs. The center of our universe is our 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily inherited her grandmother's thick, naturally golden blonde hair. It was her pride and joy, reaching all the way down to her waist. But to my sister-in-law, Vanessa, and my mother-in-law, Eleanor, that hair was an insult. Vanessa has a daughter the same age, Chloe. Vanessa is a deeply insecure mommy influencer who relies on social media sponsorships to fund her extravagant lifestyle. Chloe, unfortunately, has very fine, slow-growing hair. For years, Eleanor openly favored Chloe, but whenever Lily was around, the contrast was impossible to hide online. Just hair in the background of family photos, asking why Chloe's hair didn't look as healthy. Vanessa despised the comparison. She tried hinting that I should cut Lily's hair short to make the girls look more like sisters, but I firmly refused. Eleanor even offered to pay for a salon visit, claiming it was too much work for me to maintain. I told them both to drop it. Lily loved her hair, and it wasn't our fault that Vanessa's online brand suffered from a ridiculous sense of aesthetic jealousy. But I never imagined how far their obsession with digital validation would actually go. The trap was set on a Tuesday morning. Eleanor called me, sounding unusually warm and sweet. "Maya, dear, Vanessa is hosting a special cousin spa day at her house for the girls. Facials, cucumber water, and matching robes. Lily has been working so hard in school. She deserves a fun day with Chloe." David was away on a business trip, and I had a mountain of freelance design work to finish. Lily was thrilled, jumping up and down at the idea of a spa day. I felt a slight hesitation in my stomach, a maternal instinct I should have listened to, but I brushed it off. Eleanor promised she would be there the entire time to supervise. I drove Lily over, kissed her forehead, and watched her run up the driveway. Vanessa greeted me at the door with a camera already in her hand, flashing a bright, synthetic smile. "Don't worry, Maya. We're going to make some amazing memories today," she chirped. I went home and threw myself into my work, completely oblivious to the nightmare unfolding across town. By 5 p.m., Eleanor dropped Lily off at my house, quickly kissing her goodbye and speeding away before I could even say thank you. That brings us back to the moment Lily walked through the front door wearing that pink bucket hat. When I took it off and saw the jagged, bloody mess of her hair, my vision blurred with pure rage. Lily was trembling, explaining that Aunt Vanessa told her it was a surprise makeover for a special video, and when Lily started crying, Vanessa held her down while Eleanor filmed it. The scissors had nicked her delicate skin above the ear because she was shaking so badly. I held my daughter, whispering that she was beautiful and safe. I called my mom to come over immediately to watch Lily, and then I walked out to my car. When I arrived at Vanessa's house, her car was in the driveway. I didn't knock. I pounded on the door until she opened it, holding a glass of white wine. When she saw my face, her smirk widened. "Oh, Maya. It's just hair, it grows back. Plus, you should check my page. The engagement is through the roof. People love the dramatic transformation video." "You assaulted my daughter for content," I said, my voice dangerously quiet. Vanessa laughed, waving her hand. Eleanor agreed it was for the best. "Lily looks much more manageable now. Don't be so dramatic." I looked past her into the living room and saw Eleanor sitting on the couch, counting cash from a brand deal shipment. They genuinely thought they were untouchable. Didn't scream at them. Instead, I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, and showed Vanessa a live view of her public social media page. But I wasn't looking at the video. I looked directly into her eyes and said, "Do you know who owns the deed to this house, Vanessa?" Vanessa's smile froze. Her extravagant, influencer content house was financed entirely through a private family trust. 2 years ago, when Vanessa and her husband were drowning in debt, Eleanor begged my husband, David, to co-sign and legally manage the property trust. It trusts me implicitly. My name is listed as the primary trustee and executor of that property asset. Vanessa was merely a tenant who was currently 3 months behind on her internal trust payments, a detail Eleanor had been quietly hiding from us. You think your online sponsors care about a mommy blogger who abuses children for views? I asked. But more importantly, you forgot whose money keeps the roof over your head. Eleanor stood up from the couch, her face turning pale. Maya, let's not do anything rash. It was a family decision. A family decision involves me, I replied. I turned around, walked back to my car, and called James Vance. James was a brilliant, aggressive corporate and real estate attorney, and a close friend of my father's. I sat in my car in the dark, the engine idling, as I explained everything to James. I emailed him photos of Lily's hair, the medical report from the urgent care clinic I had stopped by earlier to document the cut on her ear, and the trust agreement for Vanessa's house. James didn't hesitate. Maya, under the strict clauses of that specific family trust, any illegal activity, child endangerment, or material default on the property allows the primary trustee to dissolve the lease immediately without a standard 30-day notice. Furthermore, we can file an emergency injunction against her social media accounts for utilizing an unauthorized minor's likeness obtained through coercion. Floyd, my late father, always taught me that when people try to destroy your peace, you don't fight them with emotion. You fight them with paperwork. Vanessa's entire livelihood was tied to her online image and her gorgeous house. By cutting Lily's hair to boost her own daughter's digital presence, she had handed me the exact weapon needed to strip her of everything. Draft the eviction and the cease and desist, I told James. I want it delivered by midnight. At exactly 11:45 p.m., a private courier arrived at Vanessa's house. I know this because James tracked the delivery confirmation in real time. The paperwork stripped Vanessa of her right to occupy the property, effective immediately due to child endangerment and breach of trust conditions. Simultaneously, James's firm sent an emergency legal notice to Vanessa's primary talent agency and top 3 corporate sponsors, attaching the police report for minor assault that I had finally filed, alongside the graphic medical photos of Lily's bleeding ear. By midnight, my phone began exploding with calls. First, it was Eleanor, screaming so loudly I had to hold the phone away from my ear. "You're ruining your sister's life. The agency just dropped her. Her main sponsor canceled their contract. They're losing the house." Then Vanessa called, sobbing hysterically, the arrogant smirk completely gone from her voice. "Maya, please. I'm sorry. We'll pay for the best hair extensions in the country. Please don't do this to my family." "You didn't care about my family when you held my crying daughter down for a video," I said coldly. "You hope you enjoy this one." I blocked both of their numbers, turned off my phone, and went upstairs to sleep next to my beautiful daughter. 3 months later, the dust has finally settled. Vanessa and her husband couldn't afford a legal defense or the mortgage on a new place. They moved into Eleanor's cramped 2-bedroom condo. Vanessa's social media accounts were permanently demonetized following the public backlash of the legal filings. She no longer posts online. David and I sold the content house property, recovering our initial investment with a substantial profit. We used that money to establish a high-yield trust fund for Lily's future college education. As for Lily, we took her to a high-end salon specializing in children's hair recovery. The stylist gave her a stunning, chic pixie cut that made her look incredibly confident. She looks in the mirror now and smiles, knowing she is fierce, protected, and loved beyond measure. Now, I'm curious about you who listened to my story. What would you have done if you were in my place? Would you have shown them mercy? Or would you have struck below, so I can see how far my story has reached.